You know that sinking feeling when you spend an entire Saturday pulling weeds, only to see them triumphantly return within days as if mocking your effort? Traditional weeding is an endless cycle of bending, pulling, and cursing, with temporary victories that cost you time, energy, and often your lower back. Chemical herbicides offer a quick fix but leave you wondering what you're actually pouring into the soil that feeds your family. Mechanical tillers churn up weed seeds buried deep in the soil profile, essentially planting next season's problems while destroying beneficial fungal networks. There's a beautifully simple solution hiding in plain sight, one that does far more than merely suppress weeds. Cardboard sheet mulching transforms your garden's entire underground ecosystem while simultaneously solving your weed problems. And the benefits extend into realms most gardeners never consider when they're simply trying to reclaim their beds from invasive grasses and persistent perennials. When you lay down cardboard over weedy ground, you're creating an immediate light barrier that smothers existing vegetation through a process gardeners call occultation. Those aggressive weeds beneath the cardboard begin to decompose, feeding the soil rather than competing with your desired plants, essentially turning your problem into a nutrient source. So, new weed seeds actually remain dormant in darkness, unable to germinate without the light trigger they've evolved to require. That means, basically, you're breaking the germination cycle instead of just treating the symptoms. But here's where cardboard mulching, really reveals its true genius beyond just weed suppression. As that cardboard slowly breaks down over, 6 to 18 months depending on thickness and moisture levels, it transforms into a carbon-rich soil amendment that dramatically improves soil structure. The cellulose fibers create pathways and aggregates as they decompose, which increases the soil's ability to hold moisture during dry spells, while still maintaining drainage during heavy rains. This kind of moisture regulation happens because decomposing cardboard acts like a sponge absorbing water and releasing it gradually to plant roots. That can actually reduce your irrigation needs by up to 40% in some climates. The cardboard layer also moderates soil temperature, keeping roots cooler in the summer heat and warmer during cold snaps, so you end up with a more stable environment for both your plants and all those helpful soil organisms. What most gardeners miss entirely is how cardboard becomes a magnet for beneficial microorganisms. Fungi, particularly saprophytic species that specialize in breaking down cellulose, colonize the cardboard almost immediately, sending their hyphal networks throughout your soil and connecting plant roots in that famous wood-wide web that facilitates nutrient sharing and communication. Bacteria follow close behind, creating biofilms on the cardboard surface and secreting enzymes that further accelerate decomposition while fixing atmospheric nitrogen and making it plant available. The space between cardboard and soil becomes an underground haven for beneficial insects that most gardeners never see but desperately need. Ground beetles, those iridescent predators that devour slug eggs, cutworms, and root maggots, absolutely thrive in the moist darkness beneath sheet mulch, with populations increasing by 3 to 5 times compared to bare soil. Rove beetles, centipedes, and predatory mites establish hunting grounds in this protected zone, emerging at night to patrol your garden and eliminate pests before they become problems. The decomposing cardboard itself becomes food for detritivores like springtails and soil mites, which break down organic matter into nutrient forms that plants can actually use while simultaneously becoming prey for larger beneficial predators, creating a complete food web right under your mulch. Earthworms, those ultimate soil engineers, just can't resist the combination of moisture, darkness, and decomposing organic matter that cardboard provides. They'll migrate from surrounding areas to colonize beneath your mulch, with populations sometimes increasing tenfold within a single growing season. As they feed on the softening cardboard, they drag it down into the soil profile, mixing it with mineral particles and coating everything with their nutrient-rich castings. So they're essentially tilling your garden biologically, while creating stable soil aggregates that, really help resist compaction and erosion. This insect activity creates natural pest control that operates 24 hours a day without any intervention from you. Slug populations decline because their eggs get eaten, aphids disappear because ladybug larvae have safe overwintering sites, and root-feeding grubs vanish because ground beetles patrol constantly. You're essentially installing a biological security system that gets stronger every season, rather than requiring constant reapplication like chemical controls. After just one season under cardboard mulch, soil texture transforms in ways that are immediately apparent when you dig. That hard, compacted clay becomes friable and crumbly, while sandy soil that previously drained too quickly develops water-holding capacity and structure. The improvement happens because all that biological activity beneath the mulch creates glomalin and other sticky compounds that bind soil particles into stable aggregates with air spaces between them, giving you that perfect balance of drainage and moisture retention that every gardener dreams about. Plant roots penetrate this improved soil effortlessly, spreading wider and deeper to access more nutrients and water. The enhanced soil biodiversity creates disease suppression that chemical treatments can never match, as beneficial microorganisms outcompete and actively suppress pathogenic fungi and bacteria through a process called competitive exclusion. Plants growing in this biologically active soil show dramatically improved nutrient uptake because mycorrhizal fungi extend their root reach by up to 100-fold, accessing nutrients far beyond what roots alone could capture. The connection between underground biodiversity and above-ground productivity becomes undeniable when you compare mulched and unmulched areas side by side, with the mulched sections consistently producing more abundant harvests, more flavorful vegetables, and more resilient ornamentals that shrug off pest pressure and environmental stress. Starting your cardboard mulching journey requires nothing more than clean corrugated cardboard with tape and labels removed, since you want pure cellulose decomposing rather than plastics and adhesives contaminating your soil. Flatten your boxes completely and overlap edges by at least 6 inches to prevent light gaps where weeds might sneak through, covering the entire area you want to transform regardless of what's currently growing there. Water the cardboard thoroughly immediately after laying it down, ensuring it makes full contact with the soil surface rather than bridging over uneven ground, since gaps prevent the smothering effect and allow persistent weeds to survive underneath. Alright, so here's what you do next. Top the cardboard with about 3 to 4 inches of organic mulch like wood chips, straw, or shredded leaves. This not only holds the cardboard in place but also adds some extra organic matter. Plus, it looks pretty attractive and creates even more habitat layers for those beneficial organisms we love. Now for new garden beds, you can actually plant right away. Just cut X-shaped slits through the cardboard and tuck your transplants directly into the soil below. This way, the cardboard suppresses weeds while your plants establish themselves without any competition. In existing beds, you can apply the cardboard mulch between rows or around perennials during their dormant season. Give it a few months to decompose before the main growing season kicks in. The beauty of this system is its flexibility. You can start small with just one problem bed or go all in and gradually transform your entire property. You'll see biodiversity and soil health compound year after year as the underground ecosystem strengthens and diversifies. If this approach to gardening resonates with you and you're ready to work with nature rather than against it, go ahead and subscribe to the Living Soil Lab for more techniques that build genuinely regenerative growing spaces. Share this guide with fellow gardeners who are tired of fighting their soil and are ready to start collaborating with it instead. Together, we're cultivating not just gardens but entire ecosystems that sustain themselves and us.